Hello everyone. Welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to talk about the week in review. This week has been a very interesting week. Personally, I was bullish on the dollar. Like at the beginning of the week, I was expecting a strong dollar, but we had so many twists this week, and we'll be going through some of the major changes that has happened in the market. And we're not going to look at gold now, but we would look at the correlative instruments, and then we'll come to the actual trading instruments. So if you are new to the channel, subscribe, like, leave a comment below, and share to your friends. Yeah. Right, so let's have a look at the Dixie. And with the Dixie, right, let me clean my markup. So with Dixie, I was looking at this level here from last week. I was looking at this level here, potentially this level holding. At the beginning of the week, price tried to make a push to the upside, but it failed. We pushed down on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We had some uncertainty here. So the bias for the week changed from Wednesday when we had a reversal here. So here you can see the market took a twist here and created this, and now we are here. But until we take out this low, I'm still bullish on the dollar. So what we are going to do is to mark this zone here, and we want to see the dollar maintains this low. The only time we would be bearish on Dixie is if it takes out the low and push to the downside, but currently I am bullish on the dollar until we do otherwise. So best case scenario, you want to see what Monday does. If Monday does something like that, you wait for the retest and a push to the upside. So if I apply my FIPS here, going from here, we see this level here is a 50% retracement. So it's a 50% retracement long term. All things being equal, we want to see the dollar around somewhere here, 110. Like it's an overstretch, but when price takes out a high long term, that's what we are looking at. So first, if dollar becomes strong, so all things being equal, what it means is if we take out the low, this does not apply anymore, right? It only applies when we don't take out the low, we pull back here. And the long-term push, when it breaks above here, this is our target. But when we take out the high, then we can go for our three targets. We go for TP1 at 127, TP2 long-term at 1.618, and TP3, which is the final completion, will be 2.0, right? I might do a video to explain my Fibonacci settings and how you can use it to make projections on the chart, right? So if you're interested, leave a comment below. If I get like a lot of people interested, I might record a video about that, right? So that is Dixie. This week we had a bullish beginning of the week and a bearish push to the downside, but going into next week I'm looking at a push to the upside potentially if we don't take out the low, and it looks kind of promising. So we'll see what we get when the market opens. The next thing we'll look at is the JPY basket. So those of you who know, you know I love the JPYs. Now I was looking for JPY basket. You know I love the JPYs. We call the move from here, bearish push to the downside. We tapped into this level right here. I was expecting a kind of a pullback from here, which we did. We had a pullback into this zone, and now we are here, right? So now price is currently sitting in this zone. So the JPYs has been pushing up from last 2 weeks when I made this call, right? So I made it on the Telegram. If you are not on the Telegram, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about, but those on the Telegram know. So currently this is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to look at Monday. Monday is very crucial because if the JPYs have to push up, then we're expecting something like this on Monday. When we break above here, then that is a bullish week all week long. We're looking to sell the JPYs into this level here, and this is a very significant push, so keep an eye, because when this happens you can be catching like 400, 500 pips. GBP JPY, Euro JPY, CHF JPY, those can easily give you those numbers, right? So keep an eye for this zone. If we take close below, then that will be completely different. The only JPY currently that has the potential to push up is GJ. Okay, the others also do, but let's quickly scan through the JPYs. So we can see AUD JPY has been super bullish from this level here when we tested here, and in 2 weeks it's just been up, and we are currently here. This will not be my best bet for sells. For sells, it is we need another daily bearish shift in momentum and a retest for us to look for sell. The one that looks like it might be the first to set off when the JPYs become strong from the JPY basket scenario we looked at is CHF JPY. So you can see price has a shifting momentum here, pulled back into the zone here, and it's already selling already. From the high, we already have about it's already 190 pips and retrace back to 165 pips. So that is currently very significant. Let me quickly scan through the other time frames. Right, okay, so this makes sense. On the 8 hour, we have price creating this level here. So long term, what we want to see, this level is critical because price has left this gap here. We could do something like that and flip to the downside, but I don't see that yet because of this new level here, right? So if the JPYs are to drop, this might be the first one to drop. GJ and EJ are very similar to what AUD JPY is looking at, but it's like we have a double top of sorts, and we could have that switch to the downside. So all eyes should be on the JPY basket to see how we react into the current zone. So for you to start looking at long-term sales, you want to see the shift on JPY basket from the low, right? And if you check GJ, you see that GJ, yes, is super bullish. Before you start looking for potential shots, you want to see at least one daily bearish close and the JPY basket responding to the low that we looked at, and we can look for potential sells here. And this is kind of decent, so let's keep an eye. Let's keep an eye on the JPY basket, and you can say the same for the other JPY pairs like NZD-JPY, very similar to what we saw on AUD-JPY. Again, even if JPY basket pushes, you want to see a shift in momentum before you look to sell, right? I'm not going into the lower time frames to break it down because we want to know what is going to happen the whole week. I mostly do weekly trading breakdowns on Tuesday after the market has found its various positions on Monday and creating the highs and lows of the week. You come in on Tuesday and find your trading levels, right? So USD-JPY is always a tricky one because it's moved by the JPY mainly and also by the USD. So you see, it is the least movement here compared to all the other JPYs that we are looking at, because it's like the strength between JPY and USD is like switches on and off, and because they are both, what is the term? I forgot this term, right? When I remember, I'll put it in a comment. Right, I'm not going to edit this out. This term. So it is the USD, the JPY, and the Swiss franc. I've forgotten the term for that, but when the USD is strong, it's most momentum shifts from the USD to the Swiss franc. Okay, funding currencies. That is what I was looking for. So the USD, the Swiss franc, and then the Japanese yen are funding currencies. So when something affects the USD, it's most likely going to affect the Swiss franc and also the Japanese yen. So trading USD-JPY, especially when there is on and off strength between the USD, becomes a little tricky. It means when the USD becomes strong, it pushes USD-JPY up. When it becomes weak, it goes down, even despite whether JPY is strong or weak. So it's something to keep in mind when you are trading USD-JPY, and it's the same for USD-CHF. So you can see that when we look at the dollar, we said the dollar was what, shifting to the downside. You see USD-CHF is pushing to the upside because Swiss franc is weak. So Swiss franc is weaker than the USD, and that's why you see it pushing. But compared to the other USD pairs, you see they are all been pushing away from the dollar. Like if you look at GBP USD today, and the past couple of days have been super bullish. You look at Euro USD, same thing. USD card, same thing. But USD-CHF is different, and that's why it behaves as a funding currency. So if you are trading USD-JPY and USD-CHF and CHF-JPY, you need to take note of these. Don't just look at one of the currencies. You need to always look at the two and compare which one of them is stronger. So ideally, if you want to actually follow the fundamentals, you don't want to be trading these three pairs: CHF-JPY, USD-JPY, and USD-CHF, right? But you can also trade them and then trade them with caution and know what to expect and what not, right? So USD, if you're expecting a potential strength in the dollar, we still need to look at the shifts, because this has taken out these highs here. It could be a liquidity graph, right? Taking out these highs here, but this actually also looks bullish. And before we look for potential shots, we want to see a momentum shift here to take some shots here. So this is very similar to the JPYs. You don't want to just start looking for some crazy sell. So here on NZD-USD, I did this analysis not long ago. So if NZD-USD is going to sell, it needs to at least, it might push a little bit up, touch this trend line and start shifting to the downside, at least into this highs here, which is about 123 pips. And that's a very decent move on NZD-USD because it's not one of those like super volatile pairs to trade, right? So 123 is a big move here, and from this level we could go lower based on how the USD is set up, if it's going to set up long term or a short term push to the upside. So keep an eye on this. And if you're looking at this, of course you want to have a look at what AUD-USD is looking like. But compared to AUD-USD, you can see this took out the high, and the other one didn't take out the high, which is NZD-USD. Okay, it took out this high, but it still have these highs over here, right? So that's something to keep an eye on. And USD card, after the CPI posted this setup, and I was looking at price to continue dumping, which we are now here. So if the dollar is going to become strong, this is something to keep an eye on. And you can see there is a corrective push here. Like this push can be those, you can call it anyhow you want to call it, but it's an impulse correction. The breakout of this looks very decent here. So keep this in mind, and also look at the Dixie. So if the Dixie shifts up, you want to be looking to buy USD long term from next week, right? I had a look at GBP USD, but GBP USD, even though super bullish, is now testing this liquidity zone here. It actually took out that high, and what you want to see long term is a shifting momentum. So all this is something you would break down further on the lower time frame, but we're looking at long term projections here, so I won't go into details of what to expect on the lower time frame, the 8 hour, the 4 hour, the 2 hour, and what's not, right? But it has a very good potential for shorts, very good potential for shorts, right? Just looking at the 4 hour time frame alone, you can see that even though we've been pushing up, the structure has not changed, right? The structure has not changed. You have price going from here into here, into here, all the way here, and then we have this level here, which is kind of what a double top, boom, right? So the market is still bearish, this level, took out that level. This push here took out this level here, right? We took out this level, we pushed back here. So this actually looks super decent. Super decent for shorts. And what you need to be looking at is what is the Dixie saying, and you can look to short this long term. Right, so this from this push here, this is 100% retracement, and we could restart from here. This actually looks like the most decent one amongst all the other USD. So keep this in mind. Let me have a look at something. Okay. And yeah, I think that's just about it for the week. Like USD was just all over the place. JPY continued pushing to the upside. And if USD is pushing up, you expect, like I just explained, if you didn't know, you expect CHF to also be weak. You expect JPY is weak, CHF is weak, and USD is also weak. So that's why you have all this pushing, and that's why trading USD-JPY, USD-CHF is not really a good idea, right? But you can see all the funding currencies are selling off. CHF weak, JPY weak, and the reason why CHF JPY is pushing up is pushing down because CHF is super weak, and even though JPY is weak, it's still taking advantage of CHF. So looking at this between CHF and JPY, you are better off trading the CHF than trading the JPY, especially for this week. And ideally, you are supposed to use CHF JPY as a correlative instrument to decide between CHF and JPY which one you should trade, because they are both funding instrument, right? So knowing your correlations can be very beneficial, right? This was the decent push on CAD CHF, but I didn't trade any of them. This week was more or less like a JPY and a gold, silver, and GBP USD. Those are the pairs I was looking at. So if you look at my watch list here, I was kind of doing a lot of scalping this week. So this is what I just added these ones here, but the pairs I was actually looking at were CHF JPY, Euro JPY, GJ. So I kept on buying retracements daily, and gold pushed down. We had this push down here and we recovered to the upside, right? Silver has been very crazy, very phenomenal. We have an all-time high here, and it looks like silver has more pushes to the upside, but I've not really done an in-depth breakdown of silver, which I would look at. So I'm not sure which levels to actually be looking at for a pullback, because if the dollar is strong, it means you are going to get a big pullback. This is one of the areas to be looking at, but like I said, I'll do a special breakdown on silver. But this looks very likely based on the price action, the favorite retracement, and how price is. But whether we are going to continue pushing here or retest before pushing, that I can't tell you now. I need to do further breakdown to be able to tell you the exact projections and what to expect, right? At this point, if you are not in silver, even though there is a potential for it to push here, you don't buy it now. You either wait for the retracement, and if it never comes, you miss the trade. This is silver. It's not, silver is even more crazier than gold. So if you are scared of gold, then you should be double scared of what's silver, right? So this is not, I don't know, maybe you learned and looked at some kind of setups, but this was just to give an overview of what happened for the week. Mostly a USD UAE weakness, and along the line we have CHF coming in, and yep, it kind of been a crazy week, even though the fundamentals were all over the place. The USD is also kind of doing its thing. So that was just it for the week, and comment below what your trading pair for the week was. What did you trade for the week? Comment in the comment section. If there is a mention of a very specific pair by multiple people, then I might add it to my watch list and analyze it most of the time. So thanks for being here. Drop your comment. If you have any question, drop in the chat box. And at this point, if you've still not subscribed, please subscribe and see you in the next video.